Hey guys, I'm so happy you're back for another video. Today we're diving into my 2026 bullet journal setup. I absolutely love doing my yearly setups, like a lot. They always give me this fresh start kind of feeling, and all the joy I get from bullet journaling just really bubbles up during this process. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of the year. But before we jump in, let me quickly introduce myself in case you're new here. My name is Senta and I am the artist behind my small brand Senti Designs. I'm a digital illustrator and I genuinely love drawing more than anything. I also sell my artwork through my online shop, things like stickers, bookmarks, art prints, glasses and lots of other fun stuff. 2026 is actually going to be my third year running my small business, which feels kind of surreal, and I'm super excited to see what this year has in store for me. I've also planned some dedicated business pages in my 2026 bullet journal, where I can organize things like shop updates, plan projects, and collect ideas for new products. But don't worry, I'll show you all of that once we get there. For now, let's start with the very first thing, the cover page for the new year. I found this image on Pinterest that I instantly fell in love with. The drawing style, the whole vibe, everything. And I knew right away that I wanted to use that style for my 2026 bullet journal setup. And as you can see, I get my inspiration from Pinterest and Instagram just like everyone else. I hear this a lot where people say they don't know how to come up with their own bullet journal theme, or that they don't have enough ideas, or that they are scared of copying someone. But honestly, art is meant to inspire other people. Of course, as an artist, you shouldn't straight up copy someone's work, but you can totally pick elements or styles you love and turn them into something that feels like you. I always look at inspirations before I start my own setup, like, why wouldn't I? Maybe I love the lettering in the one setup and the color palette in another one, and suddenly it all comes together. That's how ideas grow. So please don't stress yourself about this. We all benefit from inspiring each other, and that's such a beautiful part of the creative community. And honestly, if bullet journaling isn't your job or something you make money with, it matters even less. In that case, I'd probably just recreate other people's setups all the time too. That's honestly the most fun part. But anyway, let's continue. The cover page is going to be more collage style again, with some brown craft paper elements, but this time I'm skipping stickers and washi tape completely. That means you can super easy recreate this at home. All you really need are some green and pink markers. As always, you'll find all the materials linked in the info box down below. I didn't want to go with a coffee theme like in the original Pinterest photo though. Instead, I decided on clouds and flowers, plus this little grid pattern in the background where small note papers are hanging from it. I just thought that was such a cute idea for the new year, like little messages you can pin up along the way. I'm writing Happy New Year on the bottom note, and I'm adding another one at the top with a tiny heart on it. Overall, I wanted to keep the colors soft and not too intense, so everything looks more gentle and delicate rather than bold. So the whole setup is basically pink, green and beige, which honestly are colors I love anyway. The most eye-catching element on this page is definitely the printed 2026 numbers you can see here. I just picked the font in Word, printed it out in the right size, and that's it. The great thing, you don't have to draw the numbers yourself. The not so great thing, you have to cut them out super carefully, especially the little holes in the 0 and the 6. But yay, that's part of the fun. I stick the numbers right in the middle of the page and carefully cut along the edge of the craft paper with a craft knife. For the clouds at the bottom of the page, everything on the white journal paper gets drawn with a black fine liner, and anything on the craft paper gets filled in with a white gel pen. I just love how that looks. And I do the same thing with the 2026 numbers, filling in the missing parts on the craft paper with white. Then I add a little bit of decoration, and finally the color comes in. Can't wait for you to see how it all comes together. Enjoy watching! I hope you guys like the cover page. Now let's move on to the vision board. Honestly, this is probably my favorite page in the yearly setup because you can just stick in random images without worrying about everything being perfect. And honestly, picking out the pictures is half the fun. This year I printed out a bunch of different images. I set some new intentions, but I also reused a lot from last year. Basically, the idea is to capture in pictures how you imagine your new year. What you absolutely want to include, what you're leaving behind, what you're focusing on. For me, every vision board I've ever made has some yarn balls because I love knitting. I also include images of friends crafting together or having picnics because every year I make a point to spend more quality time with my friends. And then there are books because I want to read more, or at least more actual books instead of just audiobooks. I'm totally addicted to those. And for my small business, I printed images of art prints and calendars because this year I want to focus more on big artwork and even create my own calendar to sell. There's also a picture of a market stall because I might do a few markets this year. It's super fun even if it's a lot of work. And next year I'm turning 30, so of course there's a balloon that says 34. Other things that always make it into my boards: dogs, sourdough bread, vegan food, and art supplies. The cool thing is you can literally use anything that comes to your mind when you think about the new year. There are no rules here. On the next page, I want to write down my goals for 2026. I always find this kind of tricky because if you keep your goals too general, I usually just forget about them. You can interpret them any way you want, and that's not really helpful. But if I make them too specific, well, then there are really goals I have to achieve, and that kind of stresses me out too. To make it easier, I like to divide my goals into categories. That way I can focus on just one topic at a time, what I want to achieve in that era, without feeling overwhelmed by thinking about everything at once. Maybe I'm overcomplicating things, but everyone can figure out their own system that works best for them. I started by drawing some cute little clouds and traced the headings, like I did on the vision board, on semi-transparent baking paper. It was so relaxing because you can just trace and zone out for a bit. For the 4 goal categories, I cut out 4 craft paper squares, rounded the corners, and glued them in. Then I added the headings on top: personal, health, relationship, and business. I haven't written the actual goals yet because I still need to think about them properly. But I'd love to hear from you. How do you track your goals in your journal? Do you use categories or something else? Drop a comment below, I'm really curious. On the next page, I left a spot at the top for my word of the year. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I think it's such a nice way to capture the intention of the year in just one word. Last year I chose explore because I want to experiment a lot with my art and find my own art style. And honestly, I feel like that word still fits this year because I'm still searching and developing. So I haven't picked a word yet. I'm debating between explore again, growth, because I want to focus more on my personal development and celebrate small steps, or embrace, because even with all the work, I really love my life and city designs, and I want to remind myself how much fun it is and what a privilege it is. I'll definitely share my final choice on Instagram, so if you're curious, go check it out. I'll probably decide by January 1st. Do you have a word of the year? Below this little section, I added a tracker for my social media channels. Here I keep track of numbers, follower count, real views, likes, and how often I've posted. It's really useful to see at a glance, but I try not to get too hung up on it. It's motivating, but I don't want it to stress me out. Now we're on the second to last layout, a double page spread in Dutch door style for my business yearly planning. It's set up like a big yearly calendar with the months at the top. I use it to track and plan things in different categories: shop updates and markets, social media, preparing for, new products, and goals. Last year, I didn't really have a plan for the whole year, and I'm pretty sure it helps me to see all the important dates at a glance. I can also plan ahead and figure out how much prep time I have left for each thing. Plus, it's a great place to jot down ideas for new products and plan shop updates more strategically. This is super important for me because a lot of the time I just do a shop update whenever I finish a new design, but I really want to schedule updates for specific times so they make more sense, like around holidays, Easter, and so on. Now, for most of you, this planner might seem a bit too business focused, but honestly, you can adapt it for anything. Hobby project throughout the year, building a house, an annual overview of appointments, or any long-term project you want to track over the months. I included a Dutch door here, so the middle of the page is cut with a little flap you can flip. That's where I put the heading Business Planner. Since you can see through the page underneath, I also drew some plants and flowers, so it looks like a nice full picture when you flip it. I really hope I use this calendar consistently throughout the year. Often pages from my yearly setup get lost over time, but this time I'll add a magnetic bookmark from Sandy Designs, so I'll see it all the time. I'm already so excited to start filling this in. On to the next 2 pages. I want to leave some space for memories. Both pages are kept really simple because I need all that space. On the left, I'll write 1 or 2 sentences for each month. Anything goes. Maybe a short summary of the month, a happy memory, or something I learned. Everything is welcome. On the right page, I'll stick in a photo for each month. That's why it's so plain right now, but by December, I'm hoping it'll be totally covered with pictures. I'm honestly so excited for that. And just like that, we've reached the end of my 2026 bullet journal setup. I really hope you enjoyed the layouts and maybe even got some ideas for your own journal. Now we'll do a quick flip through of every page so you can see all the little details. And finally, I want to wish you all a wonderful, healthy and successful 2026. Thank you so much for being here and supporting my dream. I really hope to see you again in 2026. Until then, bye!